Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible stories in the world of coin collecting, a tale of a simple 1982 1-cent coin that could be worth an astonishing $94 million. Yes, you heard that right! A 1-cent coin worth $94 million. So stick around as we explore the fascinating history, value, and secrets behind this incredible coin. The 1-cent coin, or penny, is one of the most commonly found coins in circulation in the United States. For most of us, it's just pocket change, often disregarded or thrown away. But in the case of the 1982 penny, there's much more to it than meets the eye. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a significant change to the composition of the penny. Prior to that, pennies were made primarily of copper, which gave them their characteristic weight and color. However, due to rising copper prices and the cost of production, the U.S. Mint decided to switch the penny's composition to 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper. But what many people don't know is that not all 1982 pennies are made from this new zinc mixture. Some of the 1982 pennies were actually struck with the old copper composition before the Mint fully transitioned to the new design. And therein lies the mystery and value of certain 1982 pennies. Now, let's get into the heart of the story, the rare 1982 copper penny. The transition from copper to zinc didn't happen overnight, and the Mint produced both copper and zinc pennies throughout the year. In total, there were actually two types of 1982 pennies, the copper ones and the zinc ones. The problem? The copper pennies, though still being produced in 1982, were supposed to be phased out. Some of them slipped through the cracks and were mistakenly released into circulation. But these copper pennies are no ordinary 1-cent pieces. They are incredibly rare. These copper pennies are worth much more than their face value, and in some cases, they have sold for thousands of dollars. But the real jackpot comes from a specific variation of the 1982 copper penny, a particular type of copper penny that was actually struck on the wrong planchet. Now, here's where it gets crazy. There have been reports of 1982 copper pennies that were struck on zinc planchets. Basically, they were minted as copper pennies, but with the wrong metal. These rare era coins, which should have been made of zinc, were instead made of copper, and they have become some of the most coveted items for serious collectors and investors. Some estimates suggest that there could be as few as 2 of these 1982 copper pennies with the wrong composition in existence, one of which is said to have been discovered in the early 2010s. The coin was discovered by an eagle-eyed collector, who realized something was off when they noticed the penny's weight and appearance were different from the standard zinc version. After careful examination by numismatic experts, it was confirmed that this penny was not only made of copper, but it was struck on a zinc planchet. That's a huge mistake by the U.S. Mint, and a huge win for the collector. Given the rarity and the error involved, the value of this coin skyrocketed, with some estimates placing it at an eye-watering $94 million. That's right, this one coin could be worth more than most people's entire retirement funds, and potentially even more than some rare paintings or historical artifacts. Let's take a step back and talk about why the 1982 penny is so historically significant. First, it's important to understand the context in which the U.S. Mint was making these changes. By 1982, inflation was rising, and the cost of copper was increasing, which made minting copper pennies unsustainable. The U.S. Mint made a strategic decision to replace copper with a cheaper zinc composition for pennies. This shift was meant to reduce costs, but it also introduced the possibility of errors like the one we're discussing today. Another reason the 1982 penny is special is because it marked the end of an era for the iconic copper coin. This shift from copper to zinc signaled the beginning of a new chapter in U.S. coinage history, one where costs would play a larger role in shaping the materials used to make coins. The 1982 penny also holds historical significance because it came at a time of great change in American politics, economics, and culture. And now, 40 years later, it's still making waves in the numismatic community. So, what makes the 1982 copper penny so valuable? First, it's the rarity. If there are only a few of these era pennies in existence, it means their value can only increase as time passes and they become even harder to find. Add to that the sheer historical significance of the coin. This penny marks the end of an era, and for collectors, it's an irreplaceable piece of history. Second, it's the error itself. Coins with minting errors are always more valuable than regular coins, especially when the error is as significant as this one. A penny struck on the wrong metal planchet is a huge mistake that only adds to the rarity of the piece. Finally, it's the demand. Coin collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for rare finds, and the market for error coins is hotter than ever. This particular 1982 copper penny represents one of the holy grails for collectors, and as more people discover its value, the price could only keep rising. So, there you have it, the amazing story of the 1982 1-cent penny that could be worth a mind-blowing $94 million. While it might seem unbelievable, this coin's rarity, historical significance, and the sheer error involved have made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. Next time you're going through your change, don't just toss that penny aside, take a closer look. You might just have a rare treasure worth a small fortune in your pocket. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of coin collecting and beyond. See you next time! Next today, we'll reveal how it could be worth as much as $111 million. So buckle up, because you're about to learn about a coin that could change the way you look at your spare change forever. To understand the true value of the 1986 1-cent coin, we first need to take a quick trip back in time. The U.S. Mint first introduced the penny back in 1793. Since then, pennies have undergone various changes in design, metal composition, and production methods. By 1986, the penny had become a staple of American currency, with the iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. These are the same designs we see on pennies today. But the coin we're talking about today isn't just any ordinary 1986 penny. No, it's a rare variety that was produced under extremely unusual circumstances, and that's what makes it worth so much more than face value. Most pennies in 1986 were made from a mix of copper and zinc, but here's where it gets interesting. The 1986 1-cent coin we're talking about is a proof coin, which was minted for collectors, not for everyday circulation. Proof coins are made with a special process that gives them a shiny, mirror-like finish. These are far rarer than the regular circulating coins, and they're often sold directly to collectors at a premium price. Proof coins are meticulously crafted, using polished dies and specially prepared planchets, resulting in a coin that is practically flawless. But here's the catch: not all proof coins from the 1986 mintage are valuable. It's the ones with specific errors, flaws, or unique features that can skyrocket in value. This brings us to the heart of the mystery. In 1986, some pennies were struck with a rare and unusual misprint. What makes this error so fascinating is that it involves the design on the reverse side of the coin, the famous Lincoln Memorial. In some rare cases, the reverse side of the coin was misaligned, resulting in a coin with a noticeable flaw. Now you might be thinking, okay, so it's a misprint. Big deal. But here's where the value of these misprinted pennies comes into play. Coins with errors, particularly those with misalignments, double strikes, or unusual characteristics, are highly sought after by collectors. And if you've ever tried to buy an error coin, you know they can fetch some eye-popping prices. Now, let's talk about the real jaw-dropper, the 1986 penny worth $111 million. That's not a typo, folks. In the world of rare coins, this particular 1986 1-cent coin stands as one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. It's the combination of its rare proof status and a unique misprint that makes this coin incredibly valuable. Imagine this: a coin worth just 1 cent in 1986 could now be worth more than $100 million. The coin was discovered in a collection of proof sets and was originally thought to be a simple misalignment error. But after it was professionally evaluated, the coin's uniqueness was recognized, and it was determined that it was a one-of-a-kind error, never before seen in such a coin. Experts are still debating exactly how it came to be, but one thing is for sure: it's extremely valuable. So, how do you know if you have one of these $1,000,000 1986 pennies? Well, it's not as easy as just looking at the coin. First, make sure you have a genuine proof coin, which was produced in much smaller quantities than regular circulating coins. Then, you'll want to carefully examine the reverse side for any signs of misprints, misalignments, or other noticeable defects. If you think you have a rare 1986 misprint penny, it's important to take it to a certified numismatist or a coin grading service for an official evaluation. They'll be able to verify if it's authentic and, if it is, help determine its true market value. The world of coin collecting, or numismatics, is full of fascinating treasures, and error coins like the 1986 1-cent coin are at the top of many collectors' wish lists. These coins are unique because they break the mold of regular minting, and owning one is like holding a piece of history. If you're a collector, having an error coin in your collection can set you apart and even potentially lead to a massive payday. Some of the rarest coins in history have been sold for millions at auctions. And as more people discover the value of error coins, prices for these rare finds continue to climb. The 1986 penny, with its history and scarcity, could be one of the biggest success stories in the world of coin collecting. So, next time you find yourself digging through your spare change, don't just brush off that penny as worthless. It could be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of wealth, just like the 1986 1-cent coin that's worth $111 million. And remember, in the world of rare coins, history, rarity, and uniqueness are what give these tiny pieces of metal their enormous value. You never know what might be hiding in your collection. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible coin stories and rare finds. Who knows? You might just have the next big 1-cent treasure waiting for you. Next, you might think that a penny is just a penny. After all, it's worth only 1 cent, right? But what if I told you there's a 1992 1-cent coin that could be worth $13 million? Sounds unbelievable? Well, stick around as we explore the fascinating world of rare coins, the history of the 1992 penny, and why it's worth so much more than just face value. To understand why this coin is worth a fortune, we need to go back in time a little bit. The United States Mint, which produces our country's coins, has a history full of mistakes, errors, and valuable coins that collectors are dying to get their hands on. The penny, or 1-cent coin, has been around since 1793. Over the years, the design and composition of the coin have changed, but it's always been one of the most commonly circulated coins in the U.S. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change in the way pennies were made. They switched from a copper core to a copper-plated zinc core in order to save costs. This decision would go on to affect the value of pennies, both in terms of historical significance and their rarity. Now, let's zoom in on the specific coin that has the world buzzing, the 1992 1-cent coin. You see, the U.S. Mint typically strikes billions of pennies every year, and most of them are mass-produced. But in 1992, a small number of pennies were produced with a very unusual error, and that error is the key to its massive value. The 1992 1-cent coin you're looking at here was struck with what's known as a double die error. To explain this in simple terms, when a coin is being stamped, the die used to imprint the design on the coin becomes slightly misaligned during the process. This causes some of the design to appear twice, making it a double die coin. The 1992 penny, however, has a very rare double die that was discovered later and is what makes it so valuable. Double die errors aren't all that common, but they do exist in the world of coin collecting. In fact, some of the most famous and valuable coins in the world have these kinds of mistakes. The 1955 double die penny, for example, is worth thousands of dollars. But the 1992 penny? That one has an even bigger story behind it. In 1992, the U.S. Mint accidentally created a double die error, but this wasn't a widespread mistake. It's believed that only a small number of these pennies left the mint, which makes them incredibly rare. A lot of these pennies were likely thrown into circulation, while others were likely caught during the inspection process. Fast forward to today, And these rare 1992 double-die pennies have become the holy grail for collectors. One of these rare pennies recently sold for a whopping $13 million. Can you believe that? A penny, a 1-cent coin, selling for that much money? It's absolutely mind-blowing. Coins like the 1992 double-die penny don't just show up on the market every day. In fact, finding one of these coins in your pocket change is about as likely as winning the lottery. But that's exactly what makes this so exciting for collectors. Imagine checking through your change and finding a penny worth millions of dollars. The rarity of these coins is what drives their value through the roof. Now, if you happen to come across a 1992 penny, how can you tell if it's the one with the double-die error? Well, there are a few things to look for. The most obvious clue is the doubling effect you'll see on the inscriptions, particularly the word Liberty and the date 1992 on the obverse side of the coin. The letters will appear slightly thicker and distorted, making them stand out. The error is usually visible to the naked eye, so you won't need any special tools to spot it. Of course, if you think you've found one, the next step is to get it verified by a professional coin grading service, like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. These services will authenticate and grade your coin, which is essential for determining its value. An authenticated, high-grade 1992 double-die penny can fetch anywhere from thousands of dollars to millions, depending on its condition and rarity. But don't get too excited just yet. While it's thrilling to think that you could discover a coin worth millions of dollars, it's important to remember that not every 1992 penny will be worth a fortune. The key is the condition of the coin and the rarity of the error. But if you happen to have one of these elusive coins in your collection, you might just be holding onto a small treasure. So, next time you check your pocket change, remember, there could be more than just a few cents hiding inside. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1992 double-die penny is a prime example of how a simple mistake at the mint can lead to a massive payoff. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of numismatics. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the next person to discover a rare coin worth millions. See you next time! Last. Today, we're talking about a coin that's often overlooked, the 1996 1-cent coin. Now I know what you're thinking, a penny? How could a penny be worth millions? Well, trust me, this isn't just any penny. It's a coin with a history and potential that might just blow your mind. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1996 1-cent coin, commonly known as a penny, is part of the U.S. Mint's regular production. It features the famous image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." On the reverse, we see the iconic Lincoln Memorial. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it's been in circulation since 1909. But here's where things get interesting. While the 1996 penny may seem like just another year in a long line of U.S. pennies, this particular one, like so many other coins in history, could have a hidden value beyond its face value. So, what could make a 1996 penny worth $149 million? Well, the answer lies in a very rare, and very accidental, coin error. It's called a double-die error. In simple terms, this means that the design on the coin was stamped twice during the minting process, which created a noticeable doubling effect on the coin's inscriptions. In most cases, these errors are subtle, but they can be quite valuable to collectors, especially when the doubling is clearly visible, like in some 1996 pennies. These errors occur when the die used to imprint the design on the coin shifts during the striking process, causing parts of the design to appear twice. It's a rare mistake, and when it happens, these coins can sell for a hefty sum. So, what does this mean for the 1996 penny? Well, some examples of this double-die error have been sold for thousands of dollars, but there's one particular penny, one that's currently sitting in a private collection, that has made headlines across the globe. This coin is said to be worth a whopping $149 million. That's right, $149 million for a single penny. Now you may be wondering, How can a penny from 1996 possibly be worth that much? The answer lies in its rarity. Only a handful of these double strike errors exist, and the one that fetched such a massive price was sold at an auction to an anonymous buyer. This coin, because of its unique error and its historical significance, has become one of the most sought-after pennies in the world. But wait, let's take a step back. You're probably thinking, I have a penny from 1996 in my pocket, so why isn't mine worth millions? Well, here's the thing. The 1996 penny in your pocket is likely just a standard penny with no major minting flaws. In fact, most 1996 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent, unless, of course, they have a rare error like the doubled die, which makes them much more valuable. If you think you might have a 1996 penny with a doubled die error, there are a few things to look for. The most obvious sign is a visible doubling in the date, or the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If the design appears doubled, you could be holding something truly special. Here's an example of what a doubled die error looks like. As you can see, the date 1996 is doubled, and the words Liberty and In God We Trust also show signs of this error. This can make a huge difference in value, so if you spot something like this in your change, don't immediately toss it aside. Now, here's the kicker. Finding a penny like this isn't easy. These double die error coins are incredibly rare, and it can take a lot of time, patience, and a bit of luck to find one. But if you happen to stumble upon one, you could be holding a coin that might one day fetch a price that could rival a luxury car or even a house. For coin collectors and investors, these types of error coins are a goldmine. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare variations, and a coin with historical significance, like the 1996 double die penny, becomes a must-have in their collections. And because coins like this are so rare, their prices only continue to rise as the years go by. So, what's the takeaway here? While it's true that most 1996 pennies are only worth their face value, 1 cent, if you're lucky enough to come across one with a double die error, it could be worth thousands, or even millions, depending on its condition and rarity. But don't expect to find a penny worth $149 million in every pocket change jar, because that's a once-in-a-lifetime find. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this story as fascinating as I did. If you have any 1996 pennies, or any coins that you think might be worth something special, make sure to take a closer look. Who knows? You could be holding the next big treasure. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Keep your eyes on your change, and remember, the next big discovery could be in your pocket.